This episode is brought to you by King of Beards. This is my online shop where you can find high quality products that will help you grow a strong, healthy beard that not only looks great, but also will smell great as well. Definitely the people in your life that like to get up and close with you are gonna thank you for this one. These are products that I use personally. The link is below in the video description section, and if you use my coupon code KING, you'll get 15% off on your first order. This episode is in no way an exhaustive account of these prophets. Rather, my intention is to highlight certain figures within the Jewish religious texts that Jews revere. Welcome back, guys, to another episode here on FTD Facts. I'm Leroy Kenton, and let's jump into this list. Number 10 brings us the prophet Joshua. Now, he was Moses' devoted student who led the people of Israel into the promised land, and through him, God orchestrated the miracle of the crumbling of the walls of Jericho. Now, Joshua was somebody who motivated people to remain faithful to the Torah and to God, and his leadership is recorded in the book of Joshua. From there, let's take a look at Samuel at number 9. Samuel was the miracle baby who was raised by Eli, the high priest, in the tabernacle. He judged, guided, and taught the people of Israel throughout the land, and he anointed Saul and later David to succeed him as king. The accounts of Samuel are actually written and recorded in the Bible, including the books that bear his name, like 1st and 2nd Samuel. Next up at number 8, we have the prophet Isaiah. He foresaw the terrible tragedies that would befall the people of Israel if they continued in their corrupt ways as well as their idolatry. Isaiah was the prophet who spoke the 7 readings of comfort that Jews read after the 9th of Av, which is the saddest day of the year. Isaiah also said this, and I quote, console my people in the name of God." From there, let's take a look at number 7, David. David is known as the sweet singer of Israel, and he began his career, so to speak, as a humble shepherd boy, and he gained a lot of respect and a lot of admiration when he slayed the Philistine giant named Goliath using a slingshot and a stone. He became king of Israel and remained faithful to God despite facing challenges from many people, including his own children. David composed many praises to God, including the book of Psalms. And in that book, it's filled with prophecies, it's filled with songs, and it's filled with accounts of his life that he deeply regretted and repented of. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have the prophet Jonah. Jonah is best known for surviving in the belly of a large fish after refusing to prophesy to the city of Nineveh. The people, they heeded Jonah's call for repentance, and he finally realized that God is intended for people to improve because he loves them. So Jonah was really harsh. He didn't understand why God wasn't punishing the people. But after a while, when the fish spit him out of the belly onto dry land, he was like, okay, I will go. I'll tell the people the message. And surprisingly, they repented and converted. So that's why Jonah is seen as one of the greatest prophets in Judaism. The prophet coming in at number 5 is Daniel. Daniel is celebrated as a Jewish interpreter of dreams, and he was exiled to Babylon after the destruction of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. He's also famous for successfully interpreting the writing on the wall and miraculously surviving the lion's den. It is said that Daniel wrote his book in the Aramaic language, and his prophecies really depict some interesting and dramatic creatures and events. The prophet at the number 4 spot is Noah. Noah was chosen by God to survive the great flood by building an ark and taking representatives of every living species into the ark with him. After this global flood happened, God made a covenant with Abraham, and God promised to never destroy the world again with a flood. Elijah is another great prophet in the Jewish religion. Elijah was a prophet who lived during the reign of King Ahab in the northern kingdom of Israel, and he's famous for his showdown with the prophets of the idol Baal on Mount Carmel. And this is where he demonstrated the power of the one true God. Fire came down from heaven and burnt up everything, and people were amazed. Elijah is also well known for his ascension to heaven in a chariot of fire. And there are several interpretations on this, whether or not he went to heaven where God dwells, or he just went up into the heavens, meaning the sky, and was transported into a different place, because there are some evidence that he actually just traveled to a different place. He's also associated with the Passover Seder, which is still celebrated by Jews today. The great prophet coming in at number 2 in Judaism is Moses. Moses was chosen by God to lead the children of Israel out of slavery from Egypt to receive the Torah on Mount Sinai. He was a very humble and dedicated leader who had a very close relationship with God. He performed many miracles, including splitting the Red Sea, and he led the children of Israel through the wilderness for 40 years until they reached the borders of the Promised Land. Coming in at the number 1 spot for the greatest prophets in Judaism is Abraham. Abraham was called by God to leave his homeland and to go to the Promised Land, where he would become the father of a great nation. Though he faced many challenges and great tests, including being asked to sacrifice his own beloved son Isaac, well, he decided to still remain faithful to God. He became known as the father of the Jewish people, and also is recognized as a prophet by Muslims and Christians. That brings us to the end of this episode, guys. I know there are so many other prophets in the religion of Judaism, but of course, for the sake of this video, I can only fit in 10. So let me know down below in the comment section if there were any other prophets that you expected to see on this list. Also, if you've made it this far, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up. And if this is your first time coming across our videos here on FTD Facts, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you'll be notified of our future episodes. We love exploring the various different countries, cultures, religions, and people of our world. So if those topics interest you, join the FTD Facts family, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. See you soon.